Hi and welcome back to my channel, where today we are going to discuss my March wrap up. Do you guys recognize me like this with my hair up and then it's nighttime? So I'm like never at home anymore for the weekends, which is a good thing, very good for me. It means I'm being very social, being very active, but it also means I can't really film in natural daylight. So we're gonna try a new setup to where I can actually film at home and not look incredibly just awful and like gross. So we're gonna try this out. Gosh, there's so much to share before we get into the wrap up. But yeah, I haven't been home because I've been very social, and also because my orchestra is going to be playing the Mendelssohn Violin Concerto, which is like major, like super major, and we're having a professional play the solo, but the professional can only play with the orchestra at the very end, right before our actual concert, which is, you know, very typical. You don't play with the soloist the entire time. So in the meantime, since I'm first violin, the orchestra was like, well, does anybody want to play parts of the solo during our rehearsal so we at least have something to listen to? And I volunteered to play the very first movement, or at least most of the first movement. I think there will be parts I won't be able to play, but the majority of the first movement I volunteered to play. So this is really hard. Like, I've never played anything at this level, but I'm also very excited because it's fun, it's innovative. Like, you can see I just finished practicing for like 3 hours. So I'm doing this, I'm committing, and I'm having a lot of fun. But in the meantime, that just means that like I have even less time than before on the weekend. So even if I am home, I'm going to be practicing my violin and not exactly filming YouTube videos, which I still want to do. Let's not forget that I still want to do this. But I just need to like work out my schedule and figure out a good balance so that I can do it all, you know, basically. So let's get into the March wrap up. Now, I'm going to show you something I think that's going to excite you. Middle March, finished. Trouble with Lichen, finally finished those last 10 pages, done. Another book, Missoula by John Krakauer, Rape in the Justice System in a College Town, finished, started this on the 1st, I'm already done. Who am I? Look at this. But yeah, the 1st of May. So I finished a lot of books or novels. This is going to be my May wrap up, and right now we're going to do my April wrap up. And my April wrap up, I only read manga, and so once again this month will only be a manga wrap up. So I'm really sorry for those of you guys who come to me to hear me talk about books or like literature or nonfiction. Today we're going to do manga, so just be a little bit more patient. We'll get to the books. I'm finally reading books. We're feeling productive. We're feeling good. We're doing fun stuff, crazy stuff. We're feeling good. I think from here on out, we're going to have a good year of reading. But for now, I wanted to share what I read in the actual month of April, not May, but the actual month of April, which is all manga. So let's start with the biggest news in manga world. Is I finished the manga series, Sakura manga series, Captain Tsubasa. I read the final volumes 30 through 37. This was fantastic. This was fun. And I did a whole entire video about this particular series, so I'm not going to discuss it here. But it's just to say that this is Sakura manga. This is like my guilty pleasure reading when I just want to have fun, have something easy to read. I want to just feel like I'm watching a very exciting soccer game over and over again. Like this is what I had to, and loved it. So much fun. So definitely catch that video if you're interested in hearing me talk about this series for like 20 minutes. Then I decided to read along, well, I was originally planning on reading the rest of the entire Saint Seiya series, which I have in this edition. These are not the original volumes, or original volumes are like this size, and these basically they combined like 2.5 original volumes into one of these to shorten and compact series. And so in this edition I have 15. There are 15 books in this edition. So I was planning on reading the entire second half of the series because I had finished the original arc of the series. But it turns out there's an arc in between. So it turns out like there's like 3 arcs in the series. So I ended up just reading the second arc, which is called the Poseidon arc. So this is the very famous 80s Saint Seiya manga, kind of like really helped create the whole boys fighting manga sort of trend, the thing that basically all boys manga just became these sort of like really battle heavy series. And yeah, this is what that is. This was kind of like the precursor of all those things. So I read what is called the Poseidon arc, and which perfectly fit into these 3 volumes. Now Saint Seiya is not like, it's like, I think it's like really good to read when you are like if you're into like manga history and like really seeing like the development of manga. But it doesn't really have that much of a story. It's pretty much just battling over and over again. And it's not even just battling over and over again. It's like the actual battles are like exact repetition of each other. Like you'll have, there are basically 4 protagonists, and it's like they each have their turn to battle, and they just like repeat the exact same sentences as the person. Like, I didn't know that could happen. I didn't know you could do that. Oh, I'm going to beat you. And the villain's like, no, I'm going to beat you. And they're like, no, I'm going to beat you. Like, oh no, I failed. Oh no, you failed. I'm better than you. Oh wait, no, actually, I'm stronger than you. It's just like that repetition over and over and over again. Which is why it's good not to binge too much of this, or else you're just gonna be like, stop talking. So it was actually good. This middle arc was only these 3 volumes, but like it's like, but like it. I'm still like pushed to read through because the art is really fun, and it's like so detailed. It's like really ridiculous how detailed this manga is. It's pretty amazing. And like the thing is, like when there is plot, which is very little, very little plot, but when there is plot and there is like slight character development, or there's like a slight like foreshadowing into like this major thing that's gonna happen in the future, like it does pique your interest enough to want to go forward. Like that, those moments save this series, because other than that it's really repetitive. So just want to say I really had fun with this. I don't know when I'll go back and read volumes 11 through 15, but when that happens, I'm sure I'm going to enjoy myself. But I did enjoy reading the Poseidon arc of Saint Seiya, this very famous shonen battle manga series. Very fun. Then I caught up on the manga極主夫道, The Way of the Househusband. I read volumes 12 and 13. Volume 14 is actually coming out very soon. I think it comes out this week, I believe it comes out on the 9th. So I've caught up to where we are until I buy the latest volume. Volume 12 was strong. This was strong. I laughed every single time. This one was a hit after hit after hit. So if you're not aware, 極主夫道 is basically, I didn't even describe the other manga. It's fine. Most of you guys aren't here to watch me talk about manga. But 極主夫道 is basically the English title is The Way of the Househusband, and it's basically this former yakuza. He was like this really one of the most like brazen, fierce, feared yakuza. He retired and just become this house husband, and it's him going up into shenanigans, and like all the jokes are based on like yakuza stereotypes and things like that, and it's just really fun. It's just like, it's silly, but it's really fun. And this one just cracked me up. There's one, they're playing baseball with some neighborhood kids. Our main character, his friend, tries to do a YouTube channel where he basically eats various foods and he tries to describe them, and there's an incident with the police that just, I burst out laughing. It was embarrassing because I was reading this at work. I had to like really stifle my laughter because I couldn't. It was just crazy. There's a moment where a Starbucks opens up in town and they go to drink that, and it's just really good. Volume 12 was strong. Volume 13 strong as well, but not as strong as 12. But like 13 was also quite fun. I really enjoyed myself. I think the author really had some really strong ideas with these 2 volumes, and I'm really excited to read volume 14 when it comes out this week. So lastly, I decided to go back to reading Ranma 1/2. So Ranma 1/2 is this very famous series by Takahashi Rumiko. I grew up on this series when I was growing up, and it's a series where like the overarching plot is that Ranma is engaged to this young girl Agane, and they're engaged, like it was like an unarranged marriage, an arranged engagement. So they're engaged to each other. They're the fathers, so then they're all living under the same roof. The only thing is that Ranma, once when he was training in China, he fell into this like little like pit of water in this like really mystical area, and each pit has a different like magical transformation where he turns into a girl when he is hit by cold water. So this is his female form, this is his male form, and when he's hit with hot water, he goes back to this original form. So that's the overarching plot, and like basically it's very much like a periodical type of manga where like the characters go have shenanigans, and something happens and they have to take care of it, and then that ends and there's something else, and it's comedy. It's a comedy, and it's a gag. But what that means is that it's not a series that needs to be read back to back to sort of keep the plot in place in your mind, or to like feel like if you stop reading you'll forget something. So it's something you can just gonna dip in and out when you want, and that's exactly what I do. So I decided that I would start reading this and have fun and just read until a good stopping point where I feel like moving on to something else. So I read volume 19 in March, in the month of April, and I'm actually still reading it right now in the month of May. So you'll see more of this in my May wrap up. So yeah, I've just been enjoying this. Like this is just always delightful for me. I love just dipping in and out in this, read, like basically like feel really nostalgic feelings about my childhood, and just enjoy the humor and the art and the gags, and just really just, it's just easy. It's easy reading. There's nothing complicated about it. Like I said, there's nothing to remember plot wise. It's just really fun with good characters and good art. So it's just fun to do that and just keep reading. So yeah, that's it. I mean, as I said, like the month of April, obviously I was reading Middlemarch in the background. So I have been reading actually quite a bit. It's just hard to really sort of what's the word? It's is there a word? Am I trying to say something smart right now? I don't know. But it's just to show you like progress is being made. It's just been hard to tell what that progress is because I haven't really been able to report anything back at you guys. But like I said, we're on track. We're doing well. We're having fun. And it's going to be a good May coming up, I think. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.